Be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. Do the same at the Grizzly Gentleman, same promo code, 10% off at checkout. Both of these are fantastic deals, and they help support the show. What is up, Planeswalker 6? Back with some more Magic the Gathering Arena. Today is Wednesday. Not just for you in the future, but for me in the right now, because yesterday I decided to record Brawl with the community. So that video is going to come out tomorrow. Today we're playing Bolas because it's Wednesday. I don't know what time is anymore. I legitimately, completely forgot that it was a Tuesday. No clue. But I don't think I've changed really anything about this deck or the sideboard since the last video. I will say, I technically have already started recording this video. However, I noticed that there was no desktop audio. Luckily, I noticed that in the first 4 minutes. And I was trying to decide, do I cut it? It's only been 4 minutes. I wasn't going to at first, but I really didn't like the lack of desktop audio. This is a good hand. For what it's worth, the first game was against Field Gate Golos, I think. It was a bunch of nonsense, essentially. But we were only 3 turns in? No, we were 5 turns in, I think. That's just strange. I do not need this. Why'd they pay the 1? Cycle the step. Okay. Is this an Abzan lands deck? With Knight of the Reliquary? Peut-être? I mean, that's what I assume it is. Well, let's take a closer look. It's a Scapeshift deck. Of course it is. They don't have any blue. I'm gonna just yeet the Scapeshift. I will keep a Bolas on top. Do they draw a blue source? Fuck you. Attacking with the Grazer. Coward. What a coward. Unfortunately, this does have reach. So even cycling one of these in beforehand isn't the best. Yeah, so they just do that. I'm not really going to do anything about it, I don't think.
I can no longer stand by and watch.
Sure. I'll probably just Vraska it on my turn. I love how Field of the Dead is just everywhere. Yet people are like, oh no, it's totally fine. I guess, let's see, they have 3 cards. Yeah, I think playing this Bolas is pretty decent here. Cool. It threatens the life total, threatens the Teferi. I'm able to play Nicol B.
No, I am not making this up as I go.
Of course they top deck a Golos. Of course they would. They need 2 differently named lands. That is one of them. I assume he'll block with the Grazer. He's 5 other, yeah. So we could exile the Golos. That way they can't get this back in. Or just Nicol B, kill this. Then they can use this. Then I can Contempt that. Sure. I don't really love any of these lines, and the main reason is just because of the power Field of the Dead here.
In my defiance.
It's dangerous to leave the Golos alive. But I can start plussing, and since they have essentially nothing in like their hand and stuff, Nicol B can potentially start that's fine. Nikki B can potentially start yeeting. I guess they did that for... Yeah, they did that for Uro, more than anything. I can start eating their lands, potentially. And we'll just grab a black. I don't think I have double red. Although I have plenty of black. I guess I might as well grab a red source. Sure. Yeah, I think they did that so they could get... No, they had enough in the yard. Just, it doesn't diversify their lands either. Like, they go from having this to having this.
This is hardly my worst defeat.
Sure. Okay, sure.
This might be a bad idea.
Let your weak minds crumble.
I could let Bolas die, kill the Teferi, and then I can bring Bolas back. The question is, do I want to... I think I want to play the Shark Typhoon as soon as possible. Ah! It's a good thing that I noticed. They did take my Blood Crypt, so if I played anything but this Blood Crypt, it would have come in tapped. So it's a good thing I triple-checked my mana there. But I think I do want to kill the Teferi, let Bolas die, because that's fine. I think I do want to get Shark Typhoon down. Which means they do get another turn of Uro, but I'm not too terribly worried about it.
Only time will tell.
This way I can start getting, hopefully, more value than they can. I'm obviously going to go to 10, which is not exactly where I want to be. But hopefully it's not too big of a deal. Field of the Dead shouldn't be legal in this format. Sure.
Conceivable. Always consider the consequences of your freedom.
Is this serious? He missed 2 damage on me.
Return to the essence of the multiverse.
Okay. Luckily I'm not in the worst of positions. Oh. So we can cast Shark Typhoon next turn. Let's see if my opponent... Well, I need to get a board wipe. This is ridiculous. Field of the Dead just allows you to get away with the laziest of win conditions. Right? It's a land that just gives you this. I have to have board wipe. This is not a board wipe. I literally cannot use this. Didn't draw a board wipe. Guess I lose. I guess I could have cycled the Shark Typhoon. Sure. Doesn't actually matter. Remorse is fine. Another Cry is great. Sharon. Unmoored Egos. They don't have a ton of single target removal for Heartless Act that I care about. Teferi Master of Time, I don't actually think it's very good here. I don't think Angrath is actually good here either. And what's worse is that if they have Unmoored Ego, if they're able to play Field of the Dead before I'm able to Unmoored Ego the field, then I still like just lose because a single one is good enough. Now I have the ability to Unmoored Ego on turn 3, and it might not be enough, which is just redonkulous. Let's plop down the Watery Grave, I guess. This card alone makes me not want to play Historic. It just shuts everything down. Like, I have to still Unmoored Ego the rest of the Field of the Deads because of Scape Shift. Ooh, they even have another one in their hand, which means they get to redraw. All right, let's see what my opponent's working with here. Mystical Disputes, Negates, Ulamog. Of course, they also have Ulamog. They're able to just do that because Field of the Dead, like against aggro, Field of the Dead allows you to, and Field of the Dead in Uro allow you to get away with just like ramping and not caring about what aggro's doing. And then of course against control, in the Field of the Dead gives you blockers, and then against control, you get to just free win, right? You get to use all of your resources on shutting down, or against control and midrange. You get to spend all of your resources on shutting your opponent down without actually developing your own game plan, which means that you're going to be able to just say, well, I'm just going to make it so you don't have anything. I'm going to play lands. I'm going to just do what the game wants me to do and win. Like, I'm going to amass an army that you can't, that even if you do deal with, is just going to keep coming back because it's one of my lands. Now, you could say, what the hell are you, like, complaining about? Obviously, you have access to, things like Field of Ruin. In 2-color and 1-color decks, yes. But in those decks, you're missing out on some of the answers that can shore up the matches in different situations, right? I could theoretically be playing a blue-black control deck. 1, I'm no longer playing Bolas, which is what I want to do. And 2, I lose out on some of the extra red utility, such as Bedevil being able to hit artifacts, such as Chandra in the sideboard being able to just come down uncountered, right? And then, of course, when I'm thinking about something like Abzan, I could technically do just black-green, or just green-white, or even just white-black. Those are going to be fundamentally different decks. And you could say, well, sometimes decks just aren't viable. The problem I have isn't that decks aren't viable. The problem I have is that entire archetypes aren't viable unless you're using a specific card like Field of the Dead, right? Like, if you're playing a control deck without either Field of the Dead or some sort of ramp into Ugin, you're playing wrong. And that's ridiculous to me. I do not understand how Wizards chose in Historic to not realize that even if there are a bunch of different decks, they all do fundamentally the same thing. They're playing Field of the Dead, Golos, Nissa, Ugin, whatever, to just ramp, and there is no control for it. There's no way that you can reasonably deal with these cards in Historic right now, because Wizards, as I said before, essentially refuses to do anything actually about it. My opponent does not have black mana, I guess. They can cast Ugin next turn. They get to just cast Ugin next turn. I'm going to be playing my 6th land. Now, for what it's worth, you know, ramping twice, not a big deal. But when you consider the fact that I'm still so far behind, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just, like, complaining and rambling for no reason. But it just seems so stupid and wrong. And of course, I can't actually kill Golos.
It's only a matter of time.
It's ridiculous. I'm not even going to try and finish this match. I'm probably just going to instant concede against stuff like this in the future. I don't feel like playing against it. Right? I'll win from time to time, but I literally cannot compete playing the two decks I love the most, Bolas Control and Abzan midrange. Because Wizards thinks that if you have different types of ramp decks, it's fine. No, they're pushing everything else out. You might consider that Bant Ramp is different from 5-color Golos, is different from Gate Ramp, is different from whatever. No, it's the same. It's the same because they fundamentally do the same things to win, and they make the same play patterns. I'm just going to really quick go to Goldfish, metagame, Historic. Sure. Ramp, Nexus of Fate, Resource Control, I guess, is different. We're going against you, eh? Play the stat, play this. Kill that, probably. Got another email. I don't like both chops.
Picked a fight with an ancient vampire lord. My bloodline flows through you.
And I should say, it's not about losing. It's about, one, playing the same thing over and over again. And two, about having essentially no way of combating it. I'm hoping Aven Monsenser will make the Field of the Dead decks a little bit worse.
Depart Innistrad immediately. Or you will taste
Okay, that's not too bad. Do I want to play Tefers? Sure.
My skills are aged to perfection.
I'm gonna eat Search. I'm fine with that.
Must have missed something.
Still goes through. Eat this card out of their hands. Am I crazy? I just got watching, or I just got finished watching. I'll block. I just finished watching an episode of MTG Goldfish where they pit standard. Obviously, this is slightly different because I am talking about I'm talking about historic, but they pit standard Bant control versus modern Jund, not Pioneer, modern. It has things like King Liliana of the Veil, Tarmogoyf, etc., etc. And if one of the best, if not the best, mid-range decks out there can't beat a standard deck, you know some shit's whack. I mean, Nikki B is probably gonna die to a Murderous Rider. But not before taking something with him. I guess not. Huh, I thought this was an instant. Which is why I didn't play this. But, sure. Sure. Plus. So whatever's in their hand, they want to keep.
Outsmarted you eons ago.
No. Very strange. Yeah, pass. Yeah. The fact that standard cards can, and it looked like it was a pretty handy defeat too. The fact that standard cards can just completely dominate modern like powerhouse cards is dumb. Obviously speaking, that style of deck is going to generally be favored against mid-range. But still. Like, it feels wrong. I don't know. Maybe I'm insane. I just don't think so. This will be up a little late. As of right now, it's 11:54 my time. And these videos usually go up at noon my time. So obviously, I have to get the thumbnail together. I gotta upload it. Then it has to process. So we'll be a little late. I do apologize for that. But I don't know what time is anymore. So it's an okay hand. Well, it's a good hand. Vicious Conquistador. I'm probably just going to let them play whatever derpy creatures they want. And then yeet it all. Yeah, so I think I'll do this. And then yeet it all with my ritual. I'm going to get rid of Sorin. Meh. Meh. I don't really want them to get... I don't really want them to get Legion's Landing flipped. So we'll go ahead and just murder... you. Next turn I got a Nikki B. Get rid of one of these. Turn following, I can ETGE on whichever of these. It's interesting they decided to yeet that and not this one. Like, I feel like it was better to keep this one because you get to draw cards. But, I don't know, I don't think that's... I have to know. Like, I know I'm still on the same thing. I have to know what you all think. Because I feel like I'm incorrect here. Like, Frank Moon, True Dawn, and a couple of others have said, like, oh, Field of the Dead is like, fine, in Historic. They might be talking about, like, Mythic rank. I'm talking about, like, for game feel. Like, it is just not fun to play against those decks. Because... they just sit back and win. It feels like there's essentially nothing you can do against it. Which I think is my main problem with it. You know, the homogeneity, the power that I think is there, even though others seem not to. A lot of it is just like, they just sit back and win. And there are some decks, I mean, there's some decks like that that can just kind of go out of nowhere. Go off out of nowhere, but it doesn't feel as bad. I'm gonna keep this hand. It's pretty decent. Got a Heartless. We got some removal. We got a Dragon God. It's pretty decent. Start up the Crypt. Into the Falls. Act on some fools. Black green of some sort. Could be Sultai. I do wish that I had a Thought Eraser. I could erase my opponent's thoughts, see what's behind that Chandra's mask. There we go. The one true avatar. Okay, so we don't know exactly what it is just yet. It could just be Golgari. Remember when Explorer was an archetype that could actually do decently? Okay, Kiora.
Let's get moving.
Elf. I'm gonna eat the elf. And I can't contempt her yet, which is pretty awkward. But I did need to slow them down, I think. Next one I can play Summit. Consume this. Okay, yeah, they're ramping. If they play another mana creature, I might just cry instead. No, okay. I do think I want to do this. Because it also is an avenue for them to draw cards.
Cool off.
They have 6 mana. They just play another Kiora, sure.
Why do I love crap?
Another elf, sure.
Just can't.
So I'm going to
help
eat
myself.
these. With a cry. I do wish I could... Yeah. I could play dangerously, and I think it's actually better to play Nikki B Ravagey, because then they're hoping on top decks. I mean, obviously they can, let's see, they could do this. Oh no, it costs 4 total lands. So they could do that. They'd have a 4, or if they draw a land, 5 mana. I think I'm gonna go with this. Could be wrong, but okay. I did get rid of a decent card to get rid of. So what did they top deck? They top deck a Swordtooth, so they do get a redraw, unfortunately. They do have the Seduce Blessing. Okay. So it's not too bad.
Nature flows with vigor.
Could have been better, do not get me wrong. I think what I do here is I hit Kiora, kill this, and cry. Do I have enough black? 1, 2, 3. I don't have enough black! Shoot! In that case, I think I'm just going to kill this. Alright, that's not bad. Why'd I keep this on top? I did not need to keep that on top. I cried the Carnarium. This was a dumb keep. I'm just gonna say it outright. Dumb keep. Bad keep. 0 out of 10. Hopefully wouldn't do again. Another Swordtooth, you suck. Although I guess doing this for odd is a little bit fine. They get a scry, they put it on the bottom, that's nice. They can castle, which is what I assume they're going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, they castle. But now they have 3, 4. Okay. Play this. Now I'm glad I kept this. We're going to attempt to kill you. Thank you very much. Then we're going to
I sure belly flopped.
Extinction for odd. And I think I might as well keep the cry around. Like, they can play, whatever. Can't keep this. Can keep this. Can Remorse on 2, Ego on 4? Oh, wait, I can Ego on 3. Yeah, you Temple of Deceit into Swamp, into Summit. And as much as I think Extinction Event is helpful against Ulamog, I do not think it's necessarily something that I want to do. Remember, Swamp. I don't even know if that was correct. Double Unmoored Ego is nice. I actually think I'm going to hit Cura with the first one. Because it also allows me to see what else is in their deck that I might want to Unmoored Ego instead. Cura. Okay, let's see what they have. Duress, Regisaur. They took out Ulamog. They completely took out Ulamog. I'm very glad that I did this. So they have Regisaurs now. Regisaurs are easy for me to kill, though. Yeah, shut up. Great Henge is a decent choice. It looks like they have only one Casualties of War in the deck. Casualties of War can obviously hurt.
Well, this sucks.
But I think I might want to get rid of Great Henge. Possibly. Now, if they play a Regisaur this turn, then I am potentially in for some bad beats. Fuck you. I might die. I now, like, literally have to name the Great Henge. Otherwise, they could just cast it for very cheap. They have a Duress, so they're probably going to yeet a land. Yeah, and then Duress me, take my Nikki B. I need to top deck any of the plenty of removal that I have in this deck. Sword Tooth. Okay, into Linarelf. Interesting. So, I could also top deck one of the other Extinction Events or something. Well, of course I didn't. I assume they're going to drop the Duress. Yeah. They top deck a land here. Oh, right! I forgot about Routing Register. Alright, cool. I think I have to take that damage. Get fucking dominated. Put your eggs into one basket. Okay. I actually don't think I want this. Let's try this out. Let's get a good hand, please. Good hands. Good hands only. Come on, big money, no whammies, no whammies! I thought I would have gotten the choice by now. Here we go. This hand is not the best. It is barely sufficient. That does not help. Okay, single mana door. I do have an Unmoored Ego, which is nice. Don't know why it hit. Not really a reason to hit Kiora.
I defy God.
Another
One
Lenore?
drop, ripples and
No,
curls.
duress. So they might hit my ego. Yeah, they hit my ego. Sure. I do at least get this. Can Nikki be... The Vraska Contempts... Man, I don't know. I guess if they play something large and in charge, yeah, I'm gonna want to Contempt that.
The ocean surges, life thrives.
They're gonna get rid of one of my Contempts? Of course they are. Not getting that anytime soon. I have to get rid of this, but I'm gonna force them to discard first. My opponent already knew about the Contempt, so it's not like this changes their decision or anything. They did miss land drops, which is very good for me. Sword Tooth. Not too terrible, besides the, whole drawing a card thing. If they miss another land drop, okay, that's pretty nice. Disfigure. I will keep this. I think I'm going to just disfigure the elf, and then erase some thoughts from them. They can remorse one of my boluses, but not both. So I think I just take the Regisaur here. Do I want the Temple of Deceit? No. The reason no is because next turn I can just flip the Escanta while keeping whatever's on top. So yeah, my assumption is they play the Remorse, hit one of my Bolases. Yeah. Then I get to Nikki B, Ravager. Don't think I'm gonna Nikki B Ravager. I think I'm gonna do something the hell else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
For gods once, I am one again.
I think I just kill Kiora.
Back to the depths.
Die. I win. Jeez, I have a lot of packs. This video's not going to come up till like 1 or something. Containment Freeze, not terrible, not a terrible pick. So tomorrow, Jumpstart comes out. So I'll be playing a lot of Jumpstart. I will be posting at least one Jumpstart video, possibly 2. Depends, of course, on what people are looking for. I do not care. Alright. I'd like to thank my lovely patrons for the continued support. If you'd like to join them and support the show, you'll find links to that down in the description. I have the best descriptions in the game. Don't at me. Hope you've enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Apparently it's going to storm soon. And until next time, I'll be one. For real.